Providence, Rhode Island. It's the home of America's First Baptist Church, the world's third largest unsupported dome, and are we dead yet?
This is back in 88 or 89. Well, we asked Larry to lead the band, and it was just Mike Lynch, myself, and Fred.
We picked up Matt to play guitar and Bob to fill up the vocal spots. And then we ended up going under the name Malicious Intent for a while.
Bob was like the spark, you know, when he was fresh. Right when he came in, he was the fun person to be with.
And from there on in, anyone could see that this band was going to be good.
It's good. The new band is not going to be good. It's going to be fucking killer. It's going to be killer.
But the lineup needed a little fine-tuning. Stein was asked to lead the band when they were in the studio.
It devastated me, you know, because back then the band, we were just starting to get going. I really enjoyed playing with everybody. I don't think I'd still be in the band if ever, you know, something like that happened. If it never did happen 2 years ago. I mean, I guess my style's changed and my influences. But those guys are still rolling, still doing good.
With Stein out of the band, Matt had to deal with being the only guitar player.
Being the only guitar player was tough at first, but then I realized that a second guitar player wasn't needed after I figured out how to do it on my own.
But Stein wasn't the only member of the band to leave. Shortly after his departure, Mike Lynch decided to pursue his music career elsewhere. And in came Tom Hill.
I felt nervous and excited when I joined. I guess I felt the same way that any new member of an established band feels when he joins. You don't feel like you belong when you first join, because you know, it's something new. When you start a job, you get into a relationship, you don't feel right. But as you go along, you get used to everybody's habits, and it just gets better from there.
And it did. But the lineup changes didn't stop there, although this time it was an addition to the band. Bob asked Derek Machado to be the second voice of Are We Dead Yet? And his response was,
lick the fucking bottom of my bag.
Well, let's let Bob explain.
The reason why I wanted Derek in the band was he had a charisma that was unmatched. And he was working with another band, just hanging out in their practice place called Gasface. And I was like singing, filling in for them, for a singer that had left. And they said, well, Derek is screaming, but he's just screaming. And they didn't even consider him. And I went down there and I heard the screaming that he was doing. And I said to myself, they're not even considering him. The kid's better than the person who they want to use to replace. I'm grabbing him.
And from then on, the live energy soared. But there was still one more change for Are We Dead Yet? Fred decided it was time to leave.
I mean, I left when I sold my kit, because I basically had to sell the kit. So I figured since I had to sell the kit and I wasn't really too happy anyway, I figured this is a good chance for me to, break out.
Replacing Fred wasn't going to be easy, but Matt had a solution.
The way we had found Bob LaFerrier to replace Fred was we had played a couple of parties with Bob's old band Smash, and I had known that they had broken up, and I knew he wasn't doing anything, so he was the first call that I made, and I only had to make one.
And it didn't take Bob long to get used to his new bandmates.
I love working with Matt and Tom. They just have a lot of great ideas. I mean, it's just, I don't really have too many problems. I mean, some days we don't really come up with anything, but other days it just flows right through.
And from there on in, Are We Dead Yet has been rocking Providence's local scene.
The Rhode Island scene is odd.
I like the Rhode Island scene because, you play in Rhode Island, if the crowd likes you, they're going to let you know about it.
Rhode Island scene is definitely picky as to what people go for and what they don't go for. I mean, if they don't like you, they're going to tell you.
The Rhode Island scene's pretty good. It's been pretty good lately. We established a pretty good following. I mean, we play out, we have a good time. A lot of people show up.
And their following can get pretty wild. But the people in the crowd aren't the only ones to thrive off the live energy.
As soon as you see 300 or 400 or 500 people just absolutely losing control, it's just, you know, you're not going to stand there and just watch it. I mean, because you want to be part of it.
You go bananas too.
Yeah, it's just, instead of playing the music, you'd rather be out there, you know, listening to it and having the fun.
And since we're singers, we can do both.
I like the two-singer action. I mean, it keeps on picking up energy during songs. You know, you don't have the same guy plus all the energy on stage. You have two guys instead of one. I mean, it makes a big difference during live performance.
One of the keys to Are We Dead Yet's progress is their wide variety of influences.
Well, I'm definitely coming from a hard rock type of thing. It's, you know, I like a lot of, you know, the older Rush and Yes.
I'm influenced by anything that's good. I like metal, I like some hardcore, I like thrash. I'm beginning to get into death. I like jazz.
Our influence is life itself.
So many influences allow the band to come up with a totally original sound.
It's just different. It's like nothing you'll hear from anybody else. It's very complicated music, but it's something that will make you move. It'll make you just, you know, appreciate the sound that they're coming up with, but it's not anything that anybody else has come up with. It's just very different, very, you know, grooving type of music.
I think we sound like a mixture of everything that everybody listens to. I mean, you can't pinpoint it on one band that you've heard, which is good.
Writing your own material is like there's nothing like it, and then playing it out and seeing a crowd move to it. It's like one of the best feelings in the world.
Now that Are We Dead Yet has fine-tuned their lineup, they're setting new goals and looking ahead for bigger and better things.
Well, hopefully we'll be making a tape here pretty soon. I'll get that around and going up from there.
Our main goal is to have fun, and I think we've accomplished that. But beyond that, I think we've accomplished just the fact that people know who we are, and they enjoy seeing us as much as we enjoy playing for them. That's an accomplishment in itself.
Are We Dead Yet is rapidly becoming Southern New England's hottest original band, and their future looks bright.
I just like to say I'm happy doing this, and I hope it goes forever. And if I'm 50, and this is what I'm still doing, I'll be that much more happy if I'm not dead yet.
Stick around, make the world greater. Plant some trees. Big green tree. Beautiful tree. Willow tree. Plant some tree.